So the national education policy was announced today after much deliberations, and the important thing is that it looks forward to India's ambitious plan of hosting the 2036 Olympic Games. In fact, it seems that the ecosystem now is getting ready for that big moment if Olympics is come to India. So there are 5 pillars of the national sports policy. Let me quickly go over them. Number 1 is excellence on global stage. Number 2 is sports for economic development. Number 3 is sports for social development. Number 4 is sports as people's movement. And 5 is integration with National Education Policy or NEP 2020. Let me start with number 5 here on integration with NEP, which means making sports a curriculum in schools, a curriculum in colleges, integrating sports with education. No longer the government thinks it is a good idea to keep sports divorced from education, because if we look at the American system, we know that the best of the best athletes are produced through their university system. So that is an ambitious plan that India has going forward to get athletes through the education system, and particularly the universities. Already we have something called the University Games. Now, sports as a people's movement, that's where the government, that's the 4th pillar. They want to see mass participation. They want to have the society and the government work together to encourage many more men and women participate in different levels of sport through nationwide campaign and community initiatives. The 3rd pillar is sports for social development. And what does that really mean? It means that getting more and more women to be a part of the sporting ecosystem. Remember that the Paris Olympics itself was a gender equal Olympic Games, and India would like to send teams going forward to the Olympic Games that are gender neutral as well, 50-50 participation of men and women. So the government is looking to have more women. Tribal games, communities that are underprivileged or lesser privileged, persons with disabilities coming into sports as well, revitalizing the traditional and the indigenous games, also positioning sports as a career option, that as a career that could be sustainable, which means creating a second innings program, a second pathway after sports career is over. A lot of them will then be facilitated to join the coaching ecosystem and also engaging India's diaspora through sport. Number 2 on the list is sports for economic development, and that means promote tourism, attract tourists, to make India as a major sporting destination, have big international events, strengthen manufacturing of strengthen the sports manufacturing ecosystem, and promote startups and entrepreneurship sector. On top is promoting establishment of competitive leagues and competitions, and develop sports infrastructure both in rural and in urban areas. So it also talks about strengthening the infrastructure in grassroots and elite level, including mechanisms for identification and nurturing of talent. It is talking, and very important point here is enhance the capacity and governance of national sports federations. National sports federations so far have run without much of government interference, and that is in fact a part of the Olympic Charter, that they need to run free of government interference. But now it seems that the government is quite clear that they will enhance the capacity of the National Sports Federation, which also perhaps means work very closely with them for their ambitious 2036 plan. There is a talk of establishing a robust regulatory framework for sports governance, including legal framework, private sector funding for support. In fact, the government is very clear that Samaj Sarkar Bazaar, which means that the three pillars, the society, the government, and the market forces, they have to work together to make sports sustainable, to make sports meaningful as well. There's a lot of emphasis on technology and innovation, leveraging emerging technologies, including AI and data analytics for performance tracking, research program, and implementation. Lastly, sports is a state subject in India. So the NSP 2025, National Sports Policy 2025, will serve as a model for states and union territories, encouraging them to revise or formulate their own policies in alignment with the national objectives. So clearly, the government of India is telling the states, align with us to be able to produce future athletes, carry out better competitions, and make sports a meaningful career.